Hi all, welcome to OBA Administration Training Part 1. My name is Amit from bspsolution.com and today I'm going to show you some of the basic techniques of OBA administration. In today's session, we're going to talk about how to disallow your RP to be modified by developers. Many of time you do not want your RP to be open in an online mode and modified by the developers. It is often used when you want your RP to be modified in a given time frame only. So we can disallow user to modify RPD or even RPD in the online mode. Then I'm going to show you how to change your session logout time. Many of time your user log into your system and they leave it idle. So after a certain period of time, I want the session to be logged out automatically. Then we will talk about some of the basic techniques. How do you ensure that the number of rows processed by your query can be confined when you're processing your number of rows in a table view or when you're exporting it. So this is required many of time when you give a ad hoc reporting capabilities to your business user. They, without considering the performance cost of the query, they simple drag and drop and process your query, and the query may render thousands of rows which may overutilize your system resources. So by using these basic techniques, you can ensure that you continue to utilize your system resources optimally. So let's see first option, how to disallow RP to be modified by the user. All this option can be found under Fusion Middleware Console. So I'm going to with Fusion Middleware Console. You see the default URL is HTTP, name of your server 7001 and EM Enterprise Manager. I'm going to log out. I'm already logged in first. So pass your credential, and once you log in, you go to under business intelligence. You see there is one node called core application. Click on this. There are multiple options are available in tab. We'll choose an option called capacity, and then we tag all these required options. So under capacity, in order to make any changes, the first step is to lock and edit configuration. This ensures that no two people are modifying the same object at the same time. So before you modify, you ensure that it's only you who are modifying it, and this way we maintain the consistency. So click on lock and edit configuration. Under capacity management, you see there are multiple options. We would pay our attention to performance. Under performance, when you scroll down the bottom, there's an option called disallow RPD updates. When you check this option, which is default in my case, every time you check or uncheck it, enable or disable it, you need to click on apply and activate all the changes. Once changes will be activated, we would release the lock and restart all the required services. So let it complete. It takes few seconds. See, the changes are done. Now I would release the lock, apply all the changes, restart to apply recent changes. I can restart from here, or even I can go to overview. I can restart the services, or I can stop and start the services. I would prefer to stop the services first and start. So all the changes I've done will be applicable post services got started. Sometimes this is time taking process. So let's have patience and let it complete, take few more seconds. So all services got stopped. I click on start now and start all the services. You see when the service got stopped, I can clearly see the list of services stopped. The graphical presentation make my understanding easy. Click on start. It will take another few seconds to start the services. There are 5 services are down as of now, and you can see the list of services over here and the respective errors. So the panel designed so intelligently, all the options which require by administrations are available over here. Let it complete. Once your all service got started, we can log into our RPD and check the status of our RPD. You see my high chart turns out to be green color, stating that all the services are up. Now I'm going to log in with client, RPD client. It's already logged in. I would log off and log in. Start my RPD client. Now remember, I'm going to open my RPD's online mode. Click on this option blue, open online, specify your credential, and you see this option pop up. My RPD can only be open in on read-only mode and no changes can be done. That's it. Right, in the next step I'm going to show you how to change the session timeout. So if your users are idle for some time, for a given time frame, the session would be expired and we can ensure our resources are utilized optimally. So same step, go to your core application, capacity management, scroll down, you have an option over here called user session expire. Click on lock and edit, change the required value. I want if users are idle for 3 minutes, the session should be expired. I change the number to 3, click on apply and click on activate changes. Once changes are activated, I'll restart my services and I can see all of them. So changes are activated. In addition to this, I also like to modify maximum number of rows when rendering a table view and maximum number of rows to download. Let's try this option. By default, when you drag and drop column in your answer, how many rows are processed? The default number of rows are 65,000, but I want to override this default value and ensure if user blindly drag and drop and process query, it should not render more than 50 rows. The number of rows would be determined by you decide number of rows to be processed. Often you can pick up one of the largest processing query and apply number of rows it process and fix this value. So in my case I have written 50 number of rows are 50. I can override this value, whatever you want. So number of rows to be processed and number of rows to be downloaded by the user. Post processing of your report, when you click on download and download in Excel or PDF format, how many rows are going to be processed? I specified over here 5. Similarly, number of rows to be displayed in per page I mentioned as a 10. So after you make all the changes, click on apply, and then finally I would restart all the services. It will take few more seconds. Okay, changes are made. Now we are going to test it. I'm going to log into answer request and prepare one sample report and test the value which I set is correct or not. So I'll drag and drop my product and time dimension 1 member, process it, and number of rows processed I mentioned is 50. If it go beyond 50, it will pop up an error message. Do you see that message? Exceed the configuration maximum number of rows input per records. Because I mentioned this as 60 over here, and therefore the moment it goes beyond 60, it pops up an error message. I can also specify number of rows to be downloaded. When you click on download option in PDF and HTML format, how many rows are going to be processed? I click on product and one of the major called revenue, and I click on result. I'm able to see the data, so I can see naturally there are more than 5 rows. When I click on export, there's an option called export. Click on up arrow. I'm going to export in PDF format. Click on PDF and open the result. Though there are more than 5 rows, but when I export this, only 5 rows are rendered in a PDF format. So we discussed 3 basic parameters today. We discussed how to disallow RP to be updated. We also discussed how to ensure your session gets timeout if user is unattended to the system for a given time frame. We also see how to specify number of rows to be downloaded and number of rows to be displayed in per page. And finally, I shown you even after your query get processed, when you export this, you can confine the number of rows to be exported into the system. Thanks for joining today's session. For training and inquiry, please visit bispsolutions.com. Please keep watching our video series for next OBA Advanced Administration. Thanks for joining today's session.